Well, good morning, everybody. It's a light room this morning, and I don't mean from the sunshine. I mean there's not very many people here today. It's strange. Can you hear me okay, or should I? Okay. And good morning, guests on Zoom. We have any visiting Rotarians today? I didn't see anybody come in. Okay. Technically, Rotaract, are you still in, or have you completely aged out, Kenneth? Aged out. Okay, so we'll get you as a guest, and Kenneth is interested in joining our club, so I've invited him to come and have breakfast with us. Hopefully we don't scare him away. He's got a good company there. I see we have Holly back over here, and thank you for returning. Thanks. Yes, at this time, I know we have a new member, and we're going to get to that right now, actually. AJ and Melinda, would you like to induct our newest member? Sorry to interrupt your breakfast. Yep. Okay. It's all about you.
Fellow Rotarians, it is my privilege and pleasure today to conduct this induction ceremony to bring a new member to the club. Sarah Hiller was proposed for membership by Belinda Hinton. Her proposal has been reviewed by the membership committee in accordance with our club constitution and bylaws. Her name has been circulated, and her application for membership has been approved. Rotary is defined as a volunteer organization of business and professional leaders united worldwide to provide humanitarian service and help build goodwill and peace. Club members meet weekly to plan service projects, discuss community and international issues, and enjoy fellowship. Clubs are non-religious, non-political, and open to individuals' diverse backgrounds. Rotary encourages high ethical standards in all vocations while striving to live and work by the four-way test. Let's try it again.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Sarah, we now proceed to admit you into membership in Rotary Club of Arcata Center. Sarah, we welcome you back to the friendship of Rotary throughout the world. Something I learned in the membership meeting was she was formerly part of Noon Club. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
The ideal of Rotary is service, which is why our motto is service above self, and the object of this club and all Rotary clubs is to encourage and foster this ideal as a basis of worthy enterprise. You are to share in this effort. So you've been approved for membership in the club because we believe you to be a worthy representative of your vocation, are interested in the ideals of Rotary, and are willing to do your share in translating these ideals to action. You've agreed to accept the obligations of membership in this club as people of action and to obey our club's constitution and bylaws. So now I have the pleasure of asking your sponsor to pin on your membership kit the emblem of the Rotary wheel, which we hope you will wear with pride of being a Rotarian, but also with humility of service.
If she can get it opened up.
You sure?
It won't come
Last
off.
chance.
It's like a tennis
Is this the welcome? Beautiful.
At this time, I'd like to present you with your red badge, the symbol of a new club member. As a new member, there's a path you will follow as you achieve your blue badge status, and I know you will achieve this in a timely manner. This new member packet contains information for you about our Rotary Club and about Rotary International. You'll have many questions in the coming weeks, and I encourage you to seek the answers from your sponsor, your mentor, Terry, members of the membership committee, and the club president, or the entire club. It's my pleasure on behalf of the board of directors and the entire club membership to welcome you to the Rotary Club of Arcata Center. Newest club member of the world. come up to?
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. And I'll reach out to you. Yes, thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
We don't know who English are, we're all messed up.
That's all right. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, Heather. Yay,
Thank you so
we're glad
much.
you're here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Good.
Presidents always worry in July because they come to the meeting, there's almost nobody there. It's happened ever since 1992, so don't feel like it's not you. It isn't you. I mean, every president has ever done that. Like, they come to their first meeting, there's like 10 people out there, and they go, crap, what did I do, you know? That's just July.
Okay. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you. Welcome. We're happy to have you with us. Okay, up next we have some repeats on save the dates. And did Carol arrive? I don't see Carol yet. Anyhow,
I'm
noticed-
here on Zoom.
Oh, there you are. Hi, Carol. Would you like to take a couple moments and tell us what's happening with tide pooling with Carol?
All right. Sorry, everybody, that I couldn't make that in person. But if you are an early bird, this Sunday morning, if you get up early, like we all are here at 7 a.m. at the harbor in Trinidad, I'll be leading a tide pool exploration for all abilities. If you're not the type who want to crawl over all the slippery rocks, the harbor is an awesome place to be able to take in the tide pool creatures. And that's part of my work with the Trinidad Coastal Land Trust, which I do education and take people to the environment. And it's an extremely low tide that morning, and we have room. If you want to come, you could send me a text. You could call the office, because we try to limit it to keep it to small groups. But it starts at 7 a.m. this Sunday morning at the harbor. So I'd love to see.
Carol, I understand this is a relatively accessible
It
tide
is.
pooling.
It's not strictly ADA accessible. Karen will talk to you about that. But we do have access to a beach wheelchair. And if you go down in front of the seascape, it's a pretty easy slope. There's a couple little rocky parts, but we've had great success with the wheelchair, and people who are, mobility limited can still enjoy checking out the tide pool creatures. So we're trying to make this one an easy tide pool walk, and it's really fun. It's a beautiful place. One year we saw an octopus and some pretty cool creatures. So just send me a text, an email, and I'll put you on the list.
Perfect. Thank you, Carol.
Mhm.
Steve, I know we all got an email about your pizza party. Do you have any additional
Just
details?
come on, you can learn how to make your own pizzas, we'll make it for you or whatever, and we're gonna have a tiki bar out there, and my son's gonna make snacks if anybody wants to pack up. And have some fun in the backyard. Hopefully, nice day. Join us at 4 o'clock on Saturday the 31st.
Excellent. Thank you, Steve.
Please RSVP to Romy if you anticipate being there. No RSVP, no dough. We just need to know how much dough, man, please. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you. Stephanie, would you come on up? I know there's a few things you wanted to say about our upcoming first fundraiser of our Rotary year.
Can I take this down at the end?
Yep.
Okay, so the Sunrise Summer Sale, we know the 14th and 15th. Most likely the weekend before, we're going to coordinate dropping everything off at Maggie's house. So we'll give you those exact details on when the drop-off time is. So you all, just like last week, go rummage through those closets and those garage and find great stuff. If you have large things and you want to sell them on Craigslist or you want to sell them on Facebook and then donate the money to the Sunrise Summer Sale, that's always nice, because then you don't have to move it twice, right? From your house to the sale and to someone else's house. So if you don't think that you want to hold on for your stuff for a couple of weeks, you could always sell it online and then donate it to the Sunrise Summer Sale. So, groovy.
Thank you. And you wanted emails to preview things that might be available for the sales, all right?
Yeah, you can send us the email, let us know what you're thinking about bringing, so we know we have enough stuff to sell.
Thank you for putting that together. You and Claire are doing a great job. AJ, was it you that sent out something about our golf tournaments, our summer scramble?
So we had a meeting again yesterday, and things are moving along. We're finding some vendors for some of the spots along the golf tournament. So gonna create some themes, I think, in 3 little camp spots where we have a good mix of food and drink and some games. But from the club, if you haven't sent us the $25, that'll help us with the cash prize and to help us with the bar prize. That would be great if you could Venmo or send a check. And then I just sent out a sign-up genius. It's a really generic sign-up genius. We're trying to assess how many volunteers we're going to get from the club, because it's going to be important for some of the games that we have set up, that we have people be able to take the bet and then rate the bet at the very end of the hole. That just helps with an efficient game process and help us with tabulating the entries into our grand prizes. So if you haven't seen Sign Up Genius, you can take a look, and if you're free that day, great to see you out there. And if you have any questions, reach out to Melinda or I. And yeah, thank you.
Are we still looking for full sponsors?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So reach out to the folks you know in our community, and AJ and Melinda, do you have some information you can send for what the ask is?
Yes.
Yeah. I will actually, I think, Barbara's going to be sending out some stuff too. We're just editing the poster from last year, just a few things, trying to get just up-to-date information on that. I want to be confirmed prizes and everything. So that should be coming around by next week, and then it kind of has all the information, but I'll put additional, so Barbara and Maggie for PR can get that.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Friends on Zoom, there's more information on that coming soon.
Yeah.
And speaking of Friends on Zoom, I've just been told that we have a guest from France. Thomas, are you there? And can you unmute and say hi for just a second?
We have 17 people online, but just so you know.
Where's Thomas? There you are, Thomas. I can't see on video. Are you able to say hi? We can't quite hear you. Maybe he stepped away for breakfast, seeing all of us eating. Okay, carrying on then. Yes, please help me out here. Hi, Nira. Thanks for joining us again. We're happy to see you every week.
Our guest speaker.
Well, there's Karen.
Karen Fowler is there.
Hi, Karen. We'll do a formal introduction. Karen will be our presenter today from Accessibility. She's the ADA coordinator for Humboldt, and we look forward to hearing from you later in the meeting. Yeah, okay.
I'll let you know when he comes back here.
Thank you. Okay, I wanted to talk today about a little bit about fellowship outside the club. You know, we all obviously join in part Rotary to connect with people in our communities, and you know, through youth exchange or other opportunities in Rotary, there's many ways that we can connect beyond our club and beyond our local community with people that share our interests or maybe have interests that we are interested in learning more about. And so Rotary currently has on the My Rotary website about almost 100 different sorts of fellowships. And I know you can't read all those from where you are, but there are pretty much interests that may spark a little curiosity in just about anybody. And the cool thing about the Rotary Fellowships is that if there's not one you're interested in, there's full instructions on how to create your own. And so this morning I wanted to invite a couple of our club members who are involved with Rotary Fellowships outside the club to talk about that. First up, we have Maggie, and I think we may see a lot of interest in this one. You want to come on up, Maggie?
Yes, hi. I joined the Whiskey Fellowship. I know nothing about whiskey, but it's an alcoholic beverage, so I thought I would check it out. And I went to the first meeting during the convention, and they had about, I don't know, maybe 100 people online from all over the world. Everyone was drinking whiskey, and they would introduce themselves and tell us what they were drinking. And people in Australia, it might have been 8 o'clock in the morning, but everyone was doing it. And it just seemed really fun, learn a lot about different whiskeys. And I think we could start a local group if we want. They encourage you to meet 4 times a year at least and do like whiskey tastings. Also, if we want to do a fundraiser, we can raffle off whiskey and raise money. So it just is interesting because whiskey is such a big thing. I mean, there's so many types of whiskey that you could never finish this club. You could never be done with it. So I have my pin and I realized I put it on this outfit so you cannot possibly see it. But
It looks just like the.
Yeah, it does. It looks just like that. And I think it's 45 a year or 100 for a lifetime membership. So anyway, if anyone wants more information, they can go and check it out. If anyone wants to join and start a local branch here, let me know. We can do that, and that would be kind of fun. So thank you.
What whiskey were you drinking?
Well, I was there without whiskey because I was listening to everybody, and then when they were done, I went and bought 2 different bottles of whiskey because you're supposed to like compare, and then I realized I'm supposed to have 3 bottles of whiskey to compare, and they're all supposed to be the same. They're supposed to be the same type. So I ended up having like 4 bottles of whiskey that I was tasting evenly, which meant when they were empty, they were all empty at the same time, which meant I was putting like all these empty bottles of whiskey into my recycling. So I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to do one at a time. So I'm learning.
So I understand this is a good way to find a friend to have a drink with pretty much anywhere in the world.
That's right. Yeah, you
Okay.
could go anywhere in the world and find somebody in this club who is willing to show you the best whiskey that they know in their country. So it's kind of fun. Thanks.
Thank you, Meg. Next, we have Sherry, maybe a little rambunctious, I guess, or maybe not so. Never been to a quilting party. Okay.
I'll tell you what.
Is there drinking involved?
So the quilting, it started off as just the quilting fellowship. I brought show and tell. And my trusty assistant here. So the quilting fellowship started off as just quilting, and then the knitters and the crocheters and the other fabric artists got kind of peevish, and so now it's a broader thing. Every year when there's a real convention, international convention, the quilters will have a booth and they will sell items that we've made to benefit the Rotary Foundation. Now we're meeting on Zoom, and it is fun because it's from all over the world. Even though quilting, it's kind of an American thing, but the English people will say it started there, but whatever. So it's really fun, and it's interesting to see what people do. I learned to quilt in 1978, and I brought the very first quilt I ever made. So in those days, the hobby, the pastime was technologically challenged. We traced the pattern onto cardboard pieces and then traced each cardboard piece onto fabric and cut them out individually. I did hand quilt it. The other thing about it is that fabrics weren't as really great fabrics weren't as readily available. So part of this is polyester cotton, but you know, it's old and it's held up pretty well. And so I'm happy. And just as quilting technology has gotten better, so have my skills. So this was one I made at the very first Linda Ballard quilting retreat I ever went to. It was a mystery retreat. And what that means is we got the instructions of what kinds of fabric, what colors we're going to go with, what colors, how much to buy depending on what size we wanted. but we didn't know what the quilt was going to look like until we got there, and we're already started. So the important part for me on that is just to buy fabric that I like, and then whatever it turns out to be, I like it, whether the pattern is really, you know, super cool or not. Last year during COVID, I made 26 quilts. Well, what else was there to do? And for those of you who have been to my house, you know, you'll believe me when I tell you that I almost bought no fabric in 2020. I just pulled it from my considerable, beautiful stash, and it makes me happy. It's a happy place. Yes, it's a happy place. It's a happy place. So anyway, the fellowship is great. I urge you to check out all the different fellowships. Marty's in the surfing fellowship. He's a charter member of the. It was a new one that he helped get started, and it's just a way to connect. And especially now when everything's happening virtually. Anyway, if you're not going to go to an international convention, you can get together with the other like-minded folks. So it's fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. I will, yeah. When we're done with this part, I will share out the website. Go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry, Maggie. Tamal, you're back. Would you like to say hello for a moment, Tamal? No. Oh, there he is.
Yes, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yay!
Yay! Well, I don't know if you can see me too. I have no idea.
We've got you.
I can see my face, but it's all right. Well, I'm working.
How are you, Tamal?
Well, I'm good. I'm off work today. I found a job. I'm a cook. I'm making food for people. It's very nice.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I also really miss California. I've seen there is an exchange student from last year that came in Akila. I think it's Nina. She's here, I think.
She's visiting in.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Okay.
Really nice. Well, I'm pretty excited. I want to go back actually, but I don't know yet. But I will figure that out, I think.
Well, we're not going anywhere, so anytime.
Yeah, great.
Maggie and Claire tell me that you'd like to come back and talk about what's going on with your life at a
Yeah, I
future
can
meeting.
definitely do that. Yeah. Mhm.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So, thanks for dropping in. It's good to see your face.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And then, is there anybody else that's currently involved with a Rotary Fellowship that I'm not aware of? Thought I picked you up. Not yet. Okay, we're going to work on that. There's a couple I'm involved with, and they may seem contrasting. One is the Rotarian Metalhead Fellowship, and there's a little, and there is a tie-in between these two groups. There's a little bit of a backstory there. When I was growing up, until I was 12 or 13, I had no radio access because we couldn't receive it out of Maple Creek, and my music was limited to what my parents listened to. So I grew up knowing the Moody Blues and Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And then I think I was 13. I discovered in the back of the cabinet there were these tape things. You know, we used records, and there were some tapes back there, and one of them said Iron Butterfly. And I asked my dad, "What's this?" And he said, "Well, just play it." And I was like, "What is this?" And then he saw that I kind of liked it, so he brought out Black Sabbath and a few others from his era, and said, "Yeah, I did some photo shoots at some of these concerts, and I still have tinnitus." And so it was kind of a teen awakening, so to speak. And so I think Jeff is probably the only person in the room that ever saw my room at home in Maple Creek, kind of a shrine to Circus Magazine and all the whack, crazy outfits and guitars that everybody would have on stage. I think I had the whole walls plastered with photos of that. And so I've been into metal music for a long time. I like a lot of different variety of music, but one thing that I definitely appreciate with metal music is that if I've had a hard day, I can get to my car, turn on the radio, put some on, and I'm waiting along, and I'm good when I get home. So, and a lot of metal music is actually very socially conscious and aware. Not all of it, but much of it is, and what I listen to. But the Rotary Metalhead Fellowship just had their first invite to host a part of the convention, which was pretty cool. And they support the Wacken Foundation, which is basically an open door to anybody who's in music and feels like they're not getting that break to get in the door for metal music, because it's kind of pushed aside as, oh, that's not serious music. So that's how I became interested in that particular fellowship. And the tie-in to the other fellowship I'm involved with, which is actually my favorite pin, is the LGBT+ fellowship, is that in 1998 on MTV, one of my favorite rockers, Rob Halford, came out as gay on MTV. And when he talked about it, he talked about the astounding relief he felt at just being free of that secret. And the reason that I found and joined this fellowship is that it occurred to me that that's not that long ago, what, 23 years or so, that somebody felt that they had to hide who they were. And more recently with my own kids, one of whom is non-binary and the other is trans-masc. And it was still, even just last year, hard for them to come to me and say, Dad, this is who I am. And it just hit me that it shouldn't be hard. They know me, they know that I'm somebody they can trust, and yet it was still hard for them to come to their family and say something. So the LGBT+ fellowship encourages within Rotary us to make a welcoming space for everybody to feel comfortable being who they are. So that's why I'm involved in those two fellowships in particular. My presidential challenge for you is I'll share the website after the meeting. Go and find something that is of interest to you or that you're curious about and sign up. The dues are usually very low, although I think the highest one I found is actually the Rotary Metal Fellowship. If you want to subscribe your whole family, it's $666. So we will be asking, everybody in the club will get a chance to talk about a fellowship they found throughout the rest of the year and into next year. And I encourage you all to reach out beyond the club and see what else Rotary has to offer. Thank you.